Hi collectors, time for another Mad item review. So in this case we'll go through pretty much every calendar Mad has ever produced. This isn't a definitive list because there are actually some that I don't have, but this is a pretty decent list. So first up we have 1976 with 12 full colour walnut pinups and 12 almanac of statistical nonsense plus 365 important days including illustrated holidays, celebrities' birthdays, historically memorable days and useless information days. It's got a heap of copyrights there, and it was also sealed with a sticker which went around there. So let's have a bit of a look. He's going through famous people throughout the ages, and it's got little illustrations down the side here as well. I'll let you have a read of those. It's got different days there. You can see there different artists have actually contributed to this. So you have Abraham Neuman. We have Alfred the 14th. We have Alfred E Neuman. Pancho Newman. Toulouse Newman. Alfred the Chicken-Hearted. As you can tell, all these are by Mingo. They definitely look Mingos. They could be someone else, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. Benjamin Newman. Buffalo Alfred. Chief Crazy Newman. Tut Unk Newman. Alfred von Richthofen, the Red Baron. And that's it. You can see on the back what you get. Okay, next up we have 1977, released by Warner Books. So this one they did a artist per month, so the first month was Mort Drucker. Paul Coker Jr. Jack Davis. Antonio Prohias. It's interesting, I haven't noticed that before. So this has also got a Visit to Mad poster inbuilt in it. And you would have got this not in colour, but you would have got this in a Visit to Mad if you had have done that. And I've covered those types of posters in a previous video. But it's a good way to get a full colour version of that if you get this calendar. We have Dave Berg. Very intricate, this would have taken a fair while to do. We have Sergio Aragonés. Same, that's a lot of marginals. Probably would have put that together from previous work. George Woodbridge. Angelo Torres. And Jack Rickard, who's December. And on the back. And it was designed by a person called Thomas Noskowski. Horse Drawers Art Instruction School Inter-Office Memo. Sid, we've got some live ones here. Not an ounce of talent in the bunch. Sign them up quick. Art. Not sure if that's an inside joke or not. Next up we have 1978. The Silver Jubilee in shiny silver. Again released by Warner Books with typographical errors. That's nice. Every cover of every Mad we've ever published with collector's items and embarrassing moments. Must be worth a look then. We have King Kong there by Jack Davis, I assume. Disapproved reading. Another Mad Mind Warper with the pictures of the guy's head. That's pretty funny. So this is highlighting 1952 to 54. So of course the start of Mad itself. Another Jack Davis. And it has Melvin Kowinski. And we have a Norman Mingo. And we have a Kelly Freas. This particular print comes up a little bit. So Great Moments in Medicine presenting the bill. I think Kelly released a limited amount of them, but I've seen them go for a ridiculous amount of money. I don't think they're actually worth that much, but it is definitely a nice piece of art. Another Kelly Freas, John F. Kennedy. And Alfred's asking a question, which I can't read there. Again, they're putting a lot of art into every day. And we have Frank Frazetta. I don't think he did very many things for Mad, but he's certainly an iconic artist. And we would have probably another Mingo. The Beatles, of course, down the bottom. It's kind of Beatles themed with the previous one as well. And we have the Sergio Aragones. Alfred in the gas mask down the bottom. And we have a Harry North for December. Okay, celebrate Alfred's 25th anniversary all through 1978. 12 full colour collector's items, and I would agree with that. They are very nice posters, and you could, frame them individually if you wanted to. It has all the different copyrights there, and it was the same designer as the last one. Okay, next up we have 1979. Again released by Warner Books with Don Martin on the front. And Don Martin for January. So this was a bit of a turn because they didn't do colour inside from 79 onward. So that's just something to think about if you're going to buy these. Everything prior to 1979 was in full colour on the inside, but 79 onwards is black and white. It's cool artwork on the outside. Because we're already into April. It's pretty cool. And December, we have a Christmas edition up there, which was a front cover, as most of the others would be as well. Right, on the back, this is it. This calendar has everything. Steamrollers, frogs, phone bone, pimples, big feet, Tuesday, Rapunzel, cannibals, red, yellow and blue. And of course, phone bone is the guy here. It's talking about the centre one there, National Gorilla Suit Day. Okay. Next up we have 1980, again by Warner Books. Spy vs Spy, that looks like a Proteus as well. And Al Jaffe, pretty funny gag. Don Martin. I have another Proteus. Another Jaffe. Another Proteus. And then in the middle we have Sergio Aragonés. If you haven't had enough gags yet, here's a collection of marginals suitable for use as gift wrap, tinder, or a rather large dry sandwich filling. That looks like a Davis. Another Jaffe, of course, the iconic signature down the bottom. Another Proteus. The Don Martin. Another Proteus. And last but not least, we have a Jaffe. And on the back we have similar stuff to the other ones. Okay, next up we have 1981. So we're going to a smaller format now. This is kind of a magazine format. So a small calendar and a large piece of art. Interesting story about that bath bag. This has been on eBay for a fair while. This as a particular cover doesn't exist as an artwork. So I believe the artwork here was done and the typeset was done. And then what they did was they put it onto a bag and then they took a photo of the bag and that became the front cover. And some of the negatives of that particular photo can actually be purchased at the moment. I think there's 3 or 4 of them in total. Superman there. Super Black Spy, I've never seen that before. And last but not least we have December, with Dave Berg at the top. Okay, and that's at the back. Got an ingredients list. Next up we have 1990. So on this I think we have a classic back to colour. So I don't know if they did any between 1981 and 1990, but if they did I don't have it. Greetings from the Sahara Desert. a few of the Soul of Mad as well. This cover's quite interesting. I know most collectors would know this, but for the newer collectors out there, this particular cover was used as a barcode on versions of Mad that were actually sent to soldiers in the Iraq War, like free of charge. And they're actually a quite collectible item. There was only, I think, 3 particular editions of Mad that came on, but if you ever see one, like for example with Macaulay Culkin on the front, and this as a barcode, it's what they call a Hussein Asylum edition. So they're quite rare because they were a giveaway and they weren't available to purchase. Okay, so we changed publishers here. We have Landmark Calendars, where before we had Warner. Okay, moving on, we have 1993. Again, a small format calendar. Still in colour. That's reusing some of the art and kind of the setup that was done in a previous calendar, as you remember. Pretty funny. Mad calendar formats that were rejected. So musical form, a meltdown calendar, and in a circular fashion. Mad bits torn up there. And on the back, we've got the same border that was used in the Uncle Sam poster, of which I've showed a version of that in a previous video. But yeah, that's kind of a throwback to there. And of course the cover art that went with that. And this is a different publisher again, Character Imprints, printed on recycled paper. Okay, next up we're going to change formats. Going to go into a 1-a-day desk calendar. So this was from 2001. Okay, so that would have flipped out and put it up like that. And that's still sealed and I don't want to open it. But you can see here the format, similar to the Far Side ones where it would do a gag and then put the date and the day, of course. You can read that if you like to. And again, another publisher, Workman Publishing. Okay, next up we have 2003. This one is a 16-month calendar and it's 50 years of stupidity. So before we had our Silver Jubilee at 25 and now we're going to 50. First Mad, of course. So it seems like they're just jumping around different decades. Pretty sure Jerry Seinfeld actually owns this piece of art as well. A photo of that was taken when I think he was showing off the little apartment you can get, a miniaturized apartment of a Seinfeld. As I said in a previous video, I'm a Seinfeld fan as well, and I might show a few interesting collector's items from the Seinfeld world in a future video. Got Mingo Batman, one of my favourite covers. This particular artwork went through a front and a back cover, so all the way around. Be interesting to see how many times they've actually done that. There wouldn't have been that many of them over Mad's lifetime. And we have the 400th issue, which has little versions of every single cover, 400 of those. This was also done as a Warner Brothers print, in which they got 4 different signatures from key Usual Gang of Idiots people. I believe there was Jack Davis, Al Jaffe, Kelly Freas, and Mort Drucker. I may be wrong about Kelly Freas, but anyway. And we have a lighter side down there. Okay, that's on the back. And this was produced by Daydream brand. As you can tell, because they're all kind of different format. Okay, next up we have 2004. This one's a bit faded, as you can see there. I don't know why it's faded in the way it is, but anyway. Okay, have a few advertisements for different Mad books here. And this seems very Mad format as well. You can see there at the top. This was published by Tidemark Press, so 1 year later it's already jumped to a different calendar firm, but it seems like they've done a pretty good job here of keeping the spirit of Mad. If medical marijuana was legalised. It's interesting knowing the way the world's going now. And in December we've got 9 different Christmas issues. And this one also has your Mad horoscope. Okay, on the back it's just showing the format. All the different covers. Okay, last but not least, we have Mad 2009. Again, this one's on recycled paper. It's a sticker. And I haven't opened this one. So you've got 16 removable 11 by 14 frame ready covers, which is nice. You can have a look at the back. That shows all the different covers that come with this one. And it also shows you there that you can frame them up if you wanted to. That's what I really like about collecting Mad, in that you can get some really cool items for a fraction of the cost of an original and have frameable pieces that aren't necessarily the magazine. So you can do it through calendars, you could do it through like the Mad poster book, of which there's a few of those. You can do it through the Soul of Mad, which I'll show in a different video, or the subscription premiums that were released for a few years recently. This one also had an introduction from Maria Reidelbach, the author of Completely Mad, A History of the Comic Book and Magazine. I'd definitely say that's a good one to pick up. You can get it pretty cheap, and I showed a version of it in a previous video that had a lot of different signatures from Usual Gang of Idiots and also editorial staff. Anyway, that's all for this video. I know this one was kind of long, but it was important to go through all the calendars in one hit so you can see what you might want to pick up while you're collecting. Anyway, as always, if you'd like to subscribe, please do so, and we'll catch you next time.